Like, you covered traditional sports. What sports did you cover beforehand?
Honestly, I've had to cover a lot of different sports. When I was doing some freelance work and internship for the Wall Street Journal's sports department, literally I had to basically cover whatever they want me to cover. I mean, of course, they allowed me, they had me focusing on sports that I already had knowledge about, and I actually enjoyed football, basketball, even soccer. I remember back then it was the World Cup, so I got to do a piece on the women's national team. And but then also, I went to the University of Kentucky, so I covered a lot of our sports, and I helped and assisted with our athletic department when I was there as well. So, but, I've also had to do some coverage on, unique angles of sports, when it comes to, social media. Finding out, one of the most liked football players on Facebook at that time was Michael Vick, which is kind of crazy because it was close to the time where the dog abuse situation was happening.
It was about 10 years ago, yeah.
Yeah, and it was still that stigma was still on him around that time. So it's crazy that, even though that was the case, he was still the most liked and I assume followed NFL player on Facebook. So these are the different kind of angles and perspectives. And I've always enjoyed telling unique stories. And I think one of the things was, with my experience with covering media, is honestly covering traditional sports and even music didn't, I would say it didn't challenge me as much as when I had to cover, a crime story, and I had to do that for a local newspaper in Lexington, Kentucky. And I also had to cover a story about suicide in Kentucky. And I felt like just having all these diverse backgrounds in media, whether it was from a journalistic standpoint, as a print and digital journalist, as a producer, social media, etc., all of it kind of, in a very weird, interesting way, it prepared me for the career that I have now in esports and gaming, because it includes all of that. And it's kind of awesome how there's this similarity between traditional sports and esports that I'm finding, and I'm able to kind of be someone who's kind of an in-betweener, in a sense that I can have conversations with esports people, but then I'm also able to effectively translate certain key things about the esports gaming scene to traditional sports people who may not quite understand it. And it's so crucial, especially with this time, because we're seeing a lot of execs and people from the NFL and et cetera that are actually transitioning over. I think there's I forget her name, but there's this woman, she was part of the business development for the NFL for 10 plus years. Now she's part of the Call of Duty league, the new league. So it's cool that we're starting to see that. And I'm actually really excited just to see the relationship of traditional sports and esports growing closer, because it's actually closer than people assume or even think.
It's pretty wild how that is. I remember sitting in a newsroom about 2 years ago when because I'm still based out of Philadelphia. I was working at a different station in Philly at the time. And the story of Josh Harris, the owner of the 76ers, is getting into esports. And I know that they were planning on building an esports arena out in Atlantic City, and the NBA was already getting into it to begin with. And all I heard from a lot of these grizzled, old, veteran journalists, a lot of the guys who had covered sports at one time, they were mocking them. And this is 2017. They're still openly mocking them, saying, "Oh, they're just a bunch of lazy kids. Or they're just sitting. People are really going to go and pay money to watch someone play video games." And I looked across the room and I just said to them, "You guys don't have a damn clue, do you, how big this is?" I always said that esports was one of the things, if it were like a stock, I wish I had bought in early, because I could tell even from the very beginning that this was going to be something massive, maybe 8-10 years ago. And even down to seeing it how it is with guys on YouTube, where we laugh about this sometimes. It's like, you'll actually sit and watch people play video games on YouTube? Absolutely I will, because it's entertaining. It is. And whether it's something like the Game Grumps or Dashy, I know J.D. Witherspoon does his thing, or it's the full-on, really hyper-competitive gaming leagues, there's so much money to be made in this. And it really is, not just as a form of entertainment, but it's another avenue for people to be able to really do something and turn it into the career. Because we just had the Fortnite championship, and people are astonished that these teenagers are winning millions of dollars doing this, and suddenly it's not a laughing matter anymore. People aren't cracking jokes anymore, saying, "Oh, they're just a bunch of loser kids playing video games." No, this is huge. It's massively huge.
Yeah, it is. And I think that there's this disconnect because, like, when people think about gaming, right, a lot of times they think about how they think of it based on their personal experience. So a lot of them didn't play gaming or play video games competitively. So they're thinking that it's more so that. But there are strategies and adjustments when it comes to certain games. Like, we even talked to some of the Fortnite World Cup competitors, and even just how they adjusted and how they had to adjust to patch updates or new metas, new heroes, which are playable characters like in Overwatch. Like, Overwatch League just now developed a 2-2-2 format, which they didn't have that before. They had I believe so 3-3. And then also, like, for example, we're starting to see a lot more leagues and organizations that are actually becoming more city-based franchise. So, like, the Overwatch League is now doing home stands, which is, like, getting close to home and away. And they have city-based teams and franchises. Now the Call of Duty Pro League is starting to do that as well. And I'm sure we'll see other ones, like the NBA 2K League is expanding that. And so there is a market. And these, like, and I always tell people who kind of mock this scene is go to a big tournament. Like, go to the big tournament, actually see it in person, actually see how engaged these viewers are. Go and maybe, if you can, go and see the training regimen for these pro gamers, right? They take this very seriously, and it's like, you know, and it takes a lot of skill for them to be the top. Not every competitor within the scene is winning millions and millions of dollars. It's the top one. The same way that a lot of those same media people that are making jokes about esports are the same people who can't even play basketball themselves. So, you know, that's what blows my mind sometimes. It's like, you see some of these media people and they want to talk about this and that, but it's like, you know, I could say the same thing for you. I could say, you've never played a top sport in your life, or you've never played basketball. Why are you covering basketball then?
There you go.
Like, if I could say that to them and judge them for the fact that you're covering a sport that you yourself have no top level experience with, but yet you feel the need to give your own opinion on it, like, if you can do something in this space, why can't a kid be professional and actually train and have a regimen for gaming?